They told him he would never amount to anything. That children without parents rarely dream big. That destiny favors the lucky, not the abandoned. But destiny had other plans. This is the story of Henry, a boy the world forgot, who rose to lead the world. Henry's earliest memory wasn't of a mother's voice calling his name, or a father lifting him onto strong shoulders. It was the sound of iron gates closing behind him. A cold, heavy clang. Final, unforgiving. He was 5 years old when he arrived at St. Mark's orphanage, too young to understand why his life had already changed forever, but old enough to feel the weight of abandonment. In his small hands, he held a torn backpack. Inside it, 2 shirts, 1 worn pair of sandals, and a folded piece of paper with his name written in fading ink. Henry. No address. No explanation. No goodbye. As the gate locked behind him, he turned around, waiting, hoping, believing someone would come running back. No one did. Nights at the orphanage were the hardest. While other children cried themselves to sleep, calling for parents who would never answer, Henry lay awake, staring at the cracked ceiling above his bed. Every night, he whispered the same question into the darkness. Why was I left behind? Was he not good enough? Was he not wanted? Was he a mistake? The silence never answered. Food was scarce. Meals were small and rushed. Sometimes dinner was just thin porridge and water. Clothes were shared. Nothing ever truly belonged to anyone. Love was rationed. Caretakers did what they could, but there were too many children. And not enough hands, not enough time, not enough warmth. Birthdays passed unnoticed. Sickness went untreated longer than it should. Dreams were considered luxuries. But one day, in the corner of the orphanage, Henry found something that would change his life. A small library. It wasn't much. Old shelves, broken chairs, books covered in dust so thick it made him cough. But when Henry opened one of those books, the world finally spoke to him. History books told stories of leaders who rose from nothing. Biographies whispered of men and women who survived poverty, rejection, and loss, and still changed nations. In those pages, Henry discovered something life had denied him: hope. While other children played outside, Henry stayed behind and read. He read under the dim light of the window. He read through hunger, through loneliness, through pain. One night, a caretaker caught him reading by candlelight after bedtime. "Why do you read so much?" she asked gently. Henry looked up, his eyes tired but burning with purpose. He answered softly, "Because one day, I want to matter." The caretaker said nothing, but that night, she left the candle burning a little longer. School wasn't easier. Children can be cruel, especially when they sense weakness. They mocked his clothes. They mocked his silence. They mocked his past. Orphan boy. Future beggar. You think you'll be somebody? A leader? You? Every word cut deep. But Henry learned something early in life. Pain can either break you or build you. And Henry chose to build. He studied harder. He spoke less. He observed more. While others laughed at him, he prepared for a future they couldn't imagine. At 16, Henry aged out of the orphanage. No farewell party. No safety net. No family waiting outside the gate. Just a handshake. And the same iron doors opening again, this time pushing him into a world that didn't care if he survived. He worked nights cleaning office buildings, scrubbing floors that reflected lives far better than his own. By day, he attended public school, often exhausted, often hungry, sometimes falling asleep in class. Many nights, hunger kept him awake. Many mornings, exhaustion nearly broke him. There were days he survived on nothing but water and determination. One evening, after being unfairly fired from his cleaning job, Henry sat alone on a park bench. Rain poured down relentlessly, soaking his clothes, soaking his hair, soaking his spirit. And for the first time in years, Henry cried, not out of weakness, but out of anger. Is this all my life will be? He asked the sky. Is this the end of my story? The rain offered no answers. Then Henry stood up, shaking, cold, but alive. And he made a promise that would define his life. If I survive this, I will change the system that forgets children like me. Through scholarships and relentless effort, Henry entered university, not with confidence, but with hunger. He studied political science, not for power, but for justice. He became a student leader, a voice for the voiceless, a defender of those ignored. When Henry spoke, people listened, not because his words were perfect, but because they were real. He spoke of empty plates, of iron gates, of children growing up without anyone to call home. And people saw themselves in him. Politics was brutal. Opponents mocked his past. An orphan wants to run this country? He has no pedigree, no powerful family. Henry smiled. I was raised by struggle, he said, and struggle taught me leadership. He lost his first election, then his second. Each loss hurt, but quitting was never an option. Years later, when the nation grew tired of empty promises and recycled leaders, they remembered the man who never forgot where he came from. Henry ran again. This time, he won. On Inauguration Day, Henry stood before millions. As he raised his hand to take the oath, his mind returned to iron gates, empty plates, lonely nights. Tears filled his eyes. I stand here today, he said, not as the luckiest child, but as the one who refused to disappear. His first policy? Education for abandoned children, support for orphans, a system that protects the forgotten. Henry didn't become president because life was kind to him. He became president because he was stronger than life's cruelty. So, if you feel forgotten, if your beginnings look nothing like your dreams, remember this. Your past does not disqualify your future. Sometimes, the child the world abandoned becomes the leader the world needs. Backhand index pointing right. If this story inspired you, don't scroll away. Like this video, subscribe for more powerful life-changing stories, and share it with someone who needs hope today.